Hey, what's going on, everyone? IGTV, YouTube, welcome to the Credit Plug channel where we talk about how to build relationships with financial institutions, how to get you access to high limit credit funding, and how to build out primary accounts for both personal and business credit profiles. So, today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Generally, we give credit card reviews, but this time around, we're going to be reviewing a personal loan option that's available for you. So, this is the Prosper personal loans. And so, just to give you a little bit of background, so Prosper started off as a peer-to-peer lending platform. So, you have people who are trying to raise money for whatever personal causes that they may have. And then there were investors who would basically loan money at a particular interest rate. And essentially, you can create, as someone who's looking to raise money, you could create a campaign where you basically just give a brief description of, who you are or and what your idea is, how you're going to, use the money. And they would generally, use certain information like your credit score or your income to make an assessment as to whether they're going to loan you money. So that's how it originally started off, as a peer-to-peer. Now, what's happened now is WebBank has actually stepped in, and so they're underwriting loans that are originated through Prosper. So Prosper is kind of like the middleman. They have the platform, they have the customer base, and so they've just brought in another bank that's going to basically fund these personal loans, and then Prosper gets an origination fee. And so basically how it works, you go on their website, you could check your rate, you'll enter your personal information, your name, SSN, birth date, address, how much money you make, and then they'll give you a pre-approved amount if you do qualify. And so I went through that and was pre-qualified for up to 25,000. And then they'll give you the option of either a 3-year or a 5-year repayment term. And basically, the shorter the term, the lower the interest rate. So the 3-year loan is going to have a lower interest than the 5-year loan. And generally, from what I've seen, the spread's probably about like 5% or so. So the 3 years is going to have higher payments for the same amount, but less interest. So that's one thing you have to, would have to figure out, before you took out that loan, when you plan to repay it, because that can, because it might seem that the 5-year has a lower payment, but the interest is a lot more. So over the life of that loan, you'd be paying a lot more. And then one other thing about this too. So Prosper takes out their origination fee off the top. So let's say you get, and the origination fee can range anywhere from 2.5% to 5%. So let's say it's, for you, let's just say, for just an example, it's 5%. So if you wanted a $10,000 loan, then you're actually only going to get 9,500 back as far as the proceeds from that loan, but you're still going to owe 10, plus all the interest, but you're only getting 95 physically. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. So if there's a specific amount, just factor in that Prosper is going to take anywhere from 2.5% to 5% right off the top. And so, of the available personal loan options, I mean, you could always look at, credit unions or different banks. But for institution where, most people don't have an existing relationship, such as Prosper, who they're more like a intermediary. I think that they're competitive as far as their rates compared to, like, Lending Club or some of these other Mariner Finance, or even like man, I can't even think of it. But out of all of the personal loan options out there. I think Prosper is competitive. And, you could probably find lower rates elsewhere, but their process is pretty easy, and you can pre-qualify. You don't necessarily need the highest credit score. I would recommend having at least 640 and above. Um, you know, to pre-qualify, just based on data points we've collected. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to consider. Not saying, you know, not vouching for it, or not vouching for it, but it definitely is an option for those of you who need a lump sum of money. Personally, I prefer revolving credit versus loans for two reasons. So with loans, you're paying the full interest on the entire amount. That interest is accruing as soon as that loan is originated. So regardless of whether you've deployed that capital, immediately, if you have a 5-year loan, but you're not going to actually use that money for 3 months or 4 months, you're still going to have to pay that monthly payment and that interest, even regardless of how you're actually using it. Whereas a revolving line of credit or a credit card, you're not paying interest on your entire credit limit, just on the amount that you've charged. So that's one of the other advantages. And then the second, disadvantage of loans is that after you've repaid the money and you need more capital, then you'd have to apply for another loan, which means another hard inquiry, right? So with a revolving account, you use up the credit limit, you pay it back, then that available credit becomes available to you. So you don't have to reapply. You just pay it down. Whatever you pay down, then that immediately becomes accessible to you. So those are a little bit of the differences and why I prefer revolving. And some of these personal loans out here, they might be slightly lower than normal credit card interest rates, but at the same time, I mean, you could find credit cards now with 0% APRs for anywhere from 6 to 18 months. And so, to me, that's a much more competitive than, let's say, a personal loan where you're paying 15%, immediately, regardless of how you plan to use it, and you have to go back to the bank again if you want to get more money. So that's just my take. And again, this is the Prosper personal loan. So definitely check it out. So that's all we wanted to share for this video. If you're interested in how to build primary accounts, you could email us at info@creditplug.com or visit our website at www.creditplug.com. Until next time, y'all take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.